Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is Weekly Recap. If you're not familiar with Weekly Recap, let me break it down for you real quick. So I'm going to go over my week of operating a semi-truck in the USA. I have a fuel-efficient operation. I have a 2016 Cascadia. I'm leased to an 80-20 split refrigerated carrier. No, I do not talk about the carrier. This week is going to be from late August 2023. So if you're watching in the future, smash that like button for me. And the reason I'm so late on this, I recorded this week like 2 weeks ago. Thought I uploaded it. Apparently I didn't. Someone was like, hey, what about the week coming back from Florida? And I was like, pretty sure I uploaded that. So I went and looked. I did not upload it, but I didn't have the video anymore. So must have got deleted by accident. So here we go. About a month old here, maybe a little more. No, it's about a month old. This is a 5-day work week. These numbers are not to brag, not to complain. They just are what they are. And if you make more money than me, God bless you. I ain't mad at it. Just, be sure to leave in the comments how much money, you make selling oranges by the freeway. So let's get to it. Weekly recap. So I was in Florida, got good money to go to Florida. If you want to watch, this is probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. I did the week before this. Very good week. Took a good paying load to Florida. And then I was like in Miami. This load was more northern Florida. I did a little short run, like a little 200-mile hopper with deadhead and everything from South Florida up to the Central Florida area. And that's where we pick up this week. So I started off in Florida. I took a dry load that weighed 5,000 pounds from Florida. It had 2 stops, one in Indiana right outside of Chicago, and then the other one in the Chicago area. So, and those both came off in the same day. This was a Friday to Monday load. I picked it up on Friday. I delivered both stops on Monday and got reloaded on that same Monday. So this is a 5-day week. And let's see what else. So that load had a 111 empty miles, 1203 loaded miles. That was 1314 all miles, and that load paid $2,700. Pretty happy with that coming out of Florida on a weekend run. Make $2,700. And then I got a load out of Chicago to Minnesota and took a couple days off. So that load went from the Chicago area, only 14 deadhead miles. So they did really good on finding that load. And it brought me right back to Minnesota. And that was 14 empty miles, 410 loaded miles. It was 35 degrees and it weighed 24,000 pounds. So I got great fuel economy this week. First load being 5,000 pounds and dry, so no reefer fuel on that one. And then the second one was a Monday pickup, Tuesday morning delivery. So that was only on the trailer for maybe 17, 18 hours at 35 degrees. So not a lot of reefer fuel used in the week, and light loads make for great fuel economy for me. So probably average, 9 plus for this week. And that was the 2 loads I did. And then I went home, like I said, 5-day week, pretty lax week, not a tough one. But let's go over these numbers. $3,800 in total revenue. $3,040 my 80%. I ran 1738 all miles. I ran 115 of those empty, 1623 loaded, 6.6% deadhead. So you guys deadheading out of Florida, might be better off to try to find something out of Florida. There is some freight down there. I don't understand people here, and I'm going to go on a little rant here. So this load that I got out of Florida is basically because the carrier I'm leased to. They do multiple loads like this every Friday, and this is one of the things I want to talk about. I'm gonna quickly say, if your company's not leveraging their size to your advantage, you need to look into this. I'll talk more about it at the end of the video. Let me finish up going through the numbers real quick. 219 all miles, backhaul out of Florida. I call it a backhaul. You call it whatever you want. I know every time I say backhaul, I got somebody in the comments going, It's not a backhaul. It's just another load. Well, you may call it a giraffe. I'll call it a giraffe. But everybody knows what a backhaul is. It's a backhaul. I don't run all over the country. I run out and back. So the back is a back haul. That's how I see it. 219 all miles, $1.75 my 80%. And I'm still profitable at that. 238 a loaded mile. So we come over here, we bring off the variable cost, as I like to call them. $1,117 in diesel. Diesel. I need diesel. Get those t-shirts down there in my merch tent. I need diesel. $41 in reefer fuel. That's tasty on a week right there. $68 in tolls. Most of those running around the Chicago area, getting unloaded and reloaded. And that's all for the variable cost. 1226 variable cost. We bring over my 3040, subtract 1226, and that leaves me 1814 to do what I have to do with, minus 300. I shot over to the maintenance account, leaves me 1514 for the week. Yes, you probably made more than me as a company driver on this week. Now go back to the week where I went down to Florida, compare them together. Okay, that's the key. People love saying I make more than you, and if you do, God bless. I mean, it's no competition to me. I do what I want to, and I make the money I make, and that's the consequences of doing what I want to. But if you don't look at both the going down and the coming back, how's it you can say I made more money than you? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you did, you did, but don't just look at a backhaul, 5 day short backhaul week and go, oh, well, I mean, you made 15, 14. I made more than you. He probably did, I mean, hell, I ain't worried about it. But I just wanted you context, because these videos are to help people understand what being an owner operator is. And part of being an owner operator is learning that it you when you become a business owner, you got to get out of the company mindset of, well, I'm going to make this much a day every single day. Well, as a company driver, you're probably more likely to do that. But as a business owner, you're probably going to make more some days and you're going to make less some days. And it kind of all averages out, you know. Hopefully you make a little more if you own a business than you would as a company driver, but and it's not always the case. Not every day, not every week, not every month. It's just not how life works. So that's the reality of it. I had 64 cents a mile fuel cost for the week. So I bought some fuel on the way home that I didn't really have to buy. I mean, honest to God, I put $500 of diesel in Wisconsin, and I didn't have to do that. I could have made it back to Minnesota on that one tank of diesel. It just, I think I used 100 gallons of fuel from North Florida. I fueled up there at one of the Loves in North Florida, and I made it all the way back to Chicago on about 105 gallons of diesel. Yeah, yeah. If I don't have weight on this trailer, I'm 9 to 10 miles a gallon. I mean, I had 1,000-mile run a couple weeks back that I was 10.2 for 1,000-mile run. So as long as I'm light, I can do really good. Truck's getting a little older. You know how that works. So, but we keep our idle time down. I got the zero breeze. I got my generator air conditioner set up. So really, really trying to keep the idle time at zero. So that was the week. Now I want to talk a little bit. People ask me a lot about how to choose someone or a carrier to lease on to. And I talk about this a little bit, but I hear and see a lot of people that go to Florida and then they deadhead all the way back to Atlanta, or they deadhead all the way to Birmingham, or they deadhead all the way here and all the way there. Me personally, I don't go to Florida unless I got something coming out lined up. And here comes what I want to say about leveraging your size. If you're one man with his own authority, or woman, whatever, if you're one person with one truck and one trailer, That's what it is. Okay. Now, if you lease onto a carrier, I feel like that carrier should use their size to your advantage. Okay. Because there is power in numbers, especially in this slow freight market. Definitely, a company that's got a little something going on here and there. Like my carrier I'm leased on to, one of the main reasons I stay here and I appreciate this carrier is because they do their best to go into places where freight pays garbage coming out and finding things that work. Like out of, out of New Jersey, out of Maryland, out of Florida, out of Texas. So they go into those areas and try to find decent freight that they can get on the regular. Okay? And what that does for us as the drivers and the owner operators is we can get paid good to go into those areas, like this Florida. I got paid really good to go down there. I mean, it was like a 1,800-mile run going down. It paid over $3 a mile, um, because they got to pay you good to go in because most people's going to deadhead. I mean, I went all the way to Miami, and who would go to Miami? Well, if you ain't got nothing coming out, I tell you, I mean, how good of money is it if you go all the way to Miami and then deadhead all the way back to Atlanta? You know, deadhead miles ain't free. I know some people on YouTube like to go to Miami and tell you, oh, I made tremendous money. And then they don't tell you about a 500-mile deadhead from Miami back to Knoxville, Tennessee, or wherever the hell it was. Some of them will tell you. I'm one of them. And I think that's respectable. But the other people that are telling you, oh, I got $4 a mile to go to Florida, then they don't tell you, hey, I deadheaded all the way back home 700 miles away. Oh, see, there it is. There's the part you miss. But for me, I don't go to, and like, I'm not telling you what to do, by all means. This is just me telling you how I think about it and how I look at it. So before they were like, my company called me and said, hey, we got to load this load to Florida. Do you want it? Before I agree to anything, I said, what are we doing back? Because I'm not taking $3 a mile to Florida and then deadheading all the way back to Tennessee or, North Georgia for a $2 a mile load to get back to Minnesota. I need a plan. Now, I'll take $2 a mile out of Florida to get me out of there. I mean, I don't want to run $2 a mile freight, but if I can get 3 to go in, 2 to come back, we're talking 250 average. That's respectable. So that's how I look at it. If you want to go to Florida and deadhead all the way out, go for it. If your company's not helping you a little bit with those things, that's something I would definitely be concerned about, because as the freight market gets tighter and tighter, that deadheading is costing you more and more. Trust me. I need to make a shirt. Deadhead miles ain't free, because you still got to pay. I mean, I know you get good fuel economy and everything, but you're still putting wear and tear on the truck. You're doing lots of things that could be detrimental to your long-term success. So if your carrier does not help you out in this manner, maybe talk to them about it. Say, hey, I like this run that goes to, Houston, but I'm getting killed coming out of Houston. Do you think there's any way we could, and if your carrier won't do it, I got a buddy that, books his own freight, self-dispatch. His carrier don't help him out any, but he's made a lot of good connections in the last couple months. He's pretty much got him a backhaul lined up on his own. So work on, if they won't do it for you, work on it. But that's something I kind of require from a carrier. Figure out how to get me out of a garbage area with either a really light load or something that pays decent. And if we can't figure that out, then I probably don't want to go there. I mean, you guys have watched my operation over the years. I do a lot of the same loads over and over and over and over. And just because I'm not doing them doesn't mean my carrier's not doing them. And the carrier has, like I know if I go to this area, I'm getting this backhaul. If I go to this area, I'm getting that backhaul, because that's just how they've got it lined up and that's how it works. So that's, and if you do got a carrier that treats you like that and does stuff like that for you, be appreciative of it. Let them know you appreciate it. Let them, Let them know you reckon notice. You know, I reckon notice. I recognize and notice. I reckon notice. So there it is, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to take care of each other out there. Let's try to be as profitable as possible in this market. And remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, I want to talk to you today about the ES Advantage card. Everybody use my link to sign up down there. Get a $35 statement credit if you sign up before the end of August 2023. Also, you will receive major discounts at truck stops on fuel, tires, and maintenance, labor rates, all that.